Dignity. Jasmine, I need for you to have dignity. The first thing you need to do is take accountability for your actions. As a mother, as a content creator, you need to take accountability and admit you failed. And I'm here to tell you it's okay. Don't freak out. It's okay. But you got to admit it to yourself first. You got to see things for what it is and deal with it accordingly. I'm sure, a lot of people didn't choose the life that they are living right now. I didn't choose mine. However, we deal with the cards that is dealt with to us. Life gave me 5 babies, 5 beautiful babies. And I want you to know that when life gave you something so precious as a baby, when I think of my children and my grandchildren have my heart. When I tell you my grandchildren have my heart, they on spring break next week. They're going to come spend the week with me so we can have fun. I'm online looking up activities for us to do because I love my grandchildren. I love being around them. But when I look at them, I look at how magnificent God is to create an extension of me and another extension of me. So he gave me my daughter, which taught me life lessons. Now he's given me my grandchildren to enjoy life with. So I want you to start looking at your 5 babies as an extension of you. Look at them for when Caitlin gets 16 and she got all the attention of the guys in high school because they see a nice piece of chocolate. I want you to be that mom that when she comes home, she feels comfortable telling you, Mommy, some boy touched me on my behind. Mom, some boy complimented me on a body part that he shouldn't even be looking at. She can't come to you and say that because you've allowed Christopher, the pimp, to say those things to her. So it ain't right. It ain't right. But you need to take accountability. Instead of fighting against it, listen. She's going to be 16 one day. And one day when she's 16, Amaya, Ava, Aiden, Legendary, where are you going to be? Because see, you'll be in your 40s then. Do you want to be like this? This is not fun, is it? You got 5 kids. You have yet to be married, yet to know what love look like. 5 kids. You 5 deep. You are on Christina's level. You 5 deep. I was your age. I was 3, married, and doing my thing. So, and I held him down. I held him down. You talking about holding somebody down? Let me tell you something. I held my husband down. Where I stay, it gets really, really cold. Really, 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 really cold. And so my son, who was born in 92 in October, had just got out the hospital because he had a medical condition. So he just got out around Thanksgiving, right? And my husband was in the military. He was in the Marines. So he was away at this time because, again, I had my husband. I had my son, and then he had to go away. Like I think they went away the day before Thanksgiving or after Thanksgiving. I can't remember because that was in 92. But anyway, he had to go away. Now he's in this secret location because military can't tell you where they at sometimes. He's in this secret location, and I just had this baby, and he gets a phone call. And this phone call that he get is his lifelong dream job. So they tell him, you can't, your mom can't come down here and sign. You're married now. Your wife have to come. Now it's 0 below 0 outside. My son, 2 months old, just got out the hospital around Thanksgiving, and it's 0 below 0 outside. But guess what? I did it. I went down there and I signed. And do you know he's at the top of his career as we speak? The very same one I had to sign my name on. So I get it. I get holding a man down. But you got to know some good and some bad when you do. The good of holding a man down is he'll remember you when he get to where you holding him down. If he come in, let's say Chris would have came in, you would have got him on his feet like you did, dressed him, showed him a different way of living, coming on the internet. Remember y'all was going to do a prank when he poured that water on you? And he was talking about snatching your wig off? That video. See, he was showing you signs then. A tiger never changes their stripes. There's a reason why his baby mother are the way they are. Can go lengths of time without talking to him. Who wants to deal with that? I got my own issues. I'm trying to raise these kids. You do you. You welcome to come here. You welcome to see the kids, but you do you. One thing I'm grateful about it is that Chris' baby mother, the oldest one, did not come on this platform. She refused to exploit her children. And she didn't want you doing it. You don't think they watching you? Her and Medusa see all your videos. They see everything you do. And you don't do nothing but put more confirmation on why she shouldn't have had her kids around you. You giving her confirmation. Let me tell you something. You think you matter? Let me tell you, you don't matter. That first baby mama, she matter. I don't know. You don't matter though. You third. Fall in line. You don't matter. So, since you don't matter, you need to see things for what it's worth. I see I don't matter. I see how you look at me with disgust. I'm always crying. I'm always having to make up these stories. My kids can't be here when you're here. We all have to be quiet when you're here. I don't understand. I don't understand. You don't see that? It's not good for you. And I know you're thinking people trying to tell you about your relationship and they jealous and they ain't got a relationship, but don't nobody want that relationship. I'm sorry. I haven't seen one person volunteer that they was jealous because Chris so fine. They wanted to see if they can get him. They want to be in his DMs. They want to, try to persuade him to be with them. Listen, whoever Chris is with right now, at this very moment, on a Saturday, whoever he's with right now, because he ain't at work. Olivia said he don't like work. How he working all this overtime and he don't like work? Make it make sense. Somebody don't like to be at work ain't gonna work overtime. In other words, wherever he at, whomever he's with knows about you. Trust me, they do. It's not a secret because they're getting benefits off of you. Your refrigerator is empty. You asking Olivia for $100 worth of groceries. Girl, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. That pandemic gave all these people all this extra food stamps. You mean to tell me your school districts didn't offer you no free food stamps? whoever he with is getting groceries because he taking your EBT card and supplying their household with food while your kids are online saying, Mommy, I'm hungry. Mommy, I'm hungry. Not one, not two, not three. Four different kids that said to you, Mommy, I'm hungry. It's a video of you on My Shabby Life having Aiden on the floor crying, and the screech he made hurt me so bad. He was a baby. A baby should never be hungry. A baby should be nourished properly. Ava was sitting on the floor and Aiden was on his knees in front of the stove, screeching. A hunger screech. It wasn't a scream. It wasn't a cry. It was a screech. And if you know what a screech is, you know what a screech is. It's not a cry. It's not a scream. Maybe it's a cry and a scream together. I don't know. But it's usually for people who's suffering because they can't mumble the words. He couldn't mumble to you, Mommy, I'm hungry. I don't know if they've been to the doctor. I don't want to question whether or not they've been to the doctor. But if they had been to the doctor, that pediatrician is obligated, mandated, and took a vow when he decided that he wanted to be a PhD to know if he sees abuse, he must notify CPS immediately. I know for certain Ava's underweight. I know for certain. That right there would be an indication the PhD should have called CPS, since y'all know initials. We know the whole word, and it's very offensive. Children Protective Services is offensive to anyone out here who have children. It's offensive. I stand on behalf of every parent out here and say, if Children Protective Services get involved with my children, it is offensive. I take care of my kids. I make sure my kids get the basic things they need to survive. Eating, having food is a basic need to survive. I need you to take accountability. Once you take accountability that you failed, then and only then can you start to mature and grow into the mother, the woman that God put on this earth to be. God ain't put you on this earth for them kids to be in that room all day, every day. God ain't put Legendary in a dog cage and he know how to walk. Tigers don't change their stripes, they just hide them. A tiger bends down real low before they go after their prey. You going to the lowest of low right now for this man. So I would admit I was wrong. I would come on this internet. I would admit I was wrong. You said you was going to erase all your mods, and I think you should do that. And I know your mods is going to get upset with me, but I think you should get a following based on the content you put out. As soon as you mentioned Olivia, your moderators went in on her. It wasn't even the people in the chat, it was your moderators. Let's talk about that. And my thing is this: isn't Tierra your friend and her friend? Didn't you put her in jeopardy too? She shouldn't have to choose within 2 days whether or not she gonna be friends with you or somebody else. Wait a minute, she didn't sign up for that. But again, take dignity and say, I'm sorry. Because what you're pushing for right now is a dangerous situation. You've lost all the relationships around you. Every last relationship you've lost. And you're even willing to risk your children for him. I don't know how much longer your mama can hold CPS back. I don't know if that's the truth. But see, when they come in and take the Davis for, Legendary going too. Boo. So why you trying to make everything to be okay? You're not thinking ahead of the game. Legendary gonna be gone too. So you risking Legendary. So what's your channel gonna look like when you sitting, not making no money? Because you exploiting children right now. You don't have those very children. CPS gonna come in and take them. But that's the road you walking down. Anytime you can get on here and you can be this big bad person. Meet me at HEB. We don't have a HEB. So you sound very high schoolish. Like we think in a grocery store. you know, you want to fight at the grocery store? It sounds funny to me. Because when you go to the grocery store, you don't think about fight. You think about getting some food. The basic essential need you need to survive. And water, which they get plenty of. Your kids get plenty of that faucet water. That ain't right. How you drinking bottled water and they drinking faucet water, even though it's a filter on this? Jasmine, whatever you do, your kids should be able to do. If you eating steak and lobster, your kids should be eating steak and lobster. Open their palates up. They ain't gonna eat that. How you know if you don't sit down and eat with them? Instead, I eat after with them. I'll feed them first and then I eat. I've never in my life seen that. That must be a Southern thing. Because we don't do that up here. We sit down as a family. Even when we get together now, my kids are grown. I have grandkids. We sit down as a family when we eat. That's like you sitting at one table and they sitting at another table in the restaurant. That don't make sense. So take some dignity and say, look, I failed. I failed. Help me. That's all you need to say. I failed. Help me. And you can guarantee, without a shadow of a doubt, you'll have more people helping you than you had those mods talking about Olivia. If that's your enemy, why is she even mentioned on your platform? Remember, you don't make money off of people for free. You have to pay to get a promo for you. That's what bothers me about this YouTube. We should lift each other up. I shouldn't want to come up. I see my sister trying to build something. I should want to lift her up. I should reach back and say, hey, come on, sis. Let me help you. And together, build the empire. You and Christina could have built this empire. But you know who building the empire? Let me tell you who building the empire. Me. She don't even get involved in this stuff. She don't even got time for this. Because she got a little empire going on over there. She's seeing for what it's worth. I can make a living off of content, vlogging my life. I ain't never heard Ming tell her kid, you just ate. I ain't never heard it. However, it may be you need to understand that to move forward positive, to move forward growing, becoming a better version of you, showing and proving to your children that you didn't fail them. You're showing your children you're failing them. When they can see their mother getting hit and they got to say, Mommy, did Chris hit you? Your 4-year-old daughter said, Mommy, did Chris hit you? And you're trying to hush her up because you don't want to answer it because you know it's going to lead to more of the conversation. Well, why? Because she's a kid. I don't want you to show your kids that you failed them, but you already did. You already set in this. You set in this moment. And so take dignity and say, I'm sorry. It's hard. One of the hardest things in the world to do is admit when you are wrong to the person you wrong. That's one of the hardest things in the world to do. But it should be done. I didn't have them 5 kids. You did. I'm only invested because of them 5 kids. And I'm going to just be honest with you. Because, see, I'm changing my life. And I'm a whole lot older than you. And I just told my son yesterday that I wanted to read the Bible again and start over. Because I want to see and read for myself. In life, you have to start over again. When you mess up, start over again. It ain't too late. I mean, you down there, you ain't crashed, but you can start over. And it will be such a magnificent thing for your children. Because it will create something very healthy for them. Mommy stood up for herself. Aiden and Legendary will be beating on their girlfriends by 13, 14. Caitlin is headed in a direction you don't even see. It's so dangerous. Homegirl, the direction Caitlin is headed towards is dangerous. An old school mother could tell you that. Yeah, you got her in an all Caucasian school. I had my kids in an all Caucasian school. But there ain't nowhere in the world would they see their mother on the internet today while they're in their 30s looking at me like this. There's no way. Your family, your family is your 5 kids. Your family that matter is your 5 kids. Your family that you got to protect is your 5 kids. Christopher is not your family. He in your mind is your boyfriend. That's in your mind. He in my mind is your pimp. That's all he is to you. He's your pimp. He is pimping you like no tomorrow. And he doing it at the expense of your kids. He dropped a whole baby online and you stood there and still had a conversation and the baby was crying, crawling towards you. As a mother, that didn't make you jump. Have some dignity. When you talk and you come across anybody in life, take accountability for your actions. I failed. I failed as a mother. I'm sure a lot of women can say they failed. You're not alone. Now, to the degree of failure, you may be alone, but you're not alone. See, mothers don't proclaim to be perfect because there is no book written on how to raise children. I had my daughter from a very first sexual experience. I got pregnant. So God knew what he was doing. I got pregnant. From that moment, I had to grow up. You got to make a decision. And sometimes those decisions, like I say, they come and they go and they hard and they some of them easy. You got to make a decision. And this decision that you have to make, it has to be for the interest of your children. You got to take yourself out of it. Just take yourself out of it. Now, I'm not saying forget yourself in the matter, but just take yourself out of whether or not it's a question on what you should do. What you should do is step up, take accountability, and have some dignity. When you take that, don't come over here and give us a backhanded slap like you did your mother. I apologize for what I did say. No, you didn't apologize for what you said. You said, I'm not apologizing. This is what you said. I am not apologizing for what I said. I am apologizing for how I delivered it. That is a backhanded apology. You have scared your mother off this platform permanently. She don't want it. She don't want this smoke, as y'all young people call it. She don't want this smoke. She ain't signed up for this. She signed up for fun. She don't want this smoke. It's embarrassing to her. It's affecting her job, her livelihood. All money ain't good money. And how you exploiting these children ain't good money. Because the money that you're earning from this, this is why we say exploiting children. The money you're getting from this video that you put up, not even mentioning them, will be going to the pimp. So ask yourself, do your kids want you to put them on camera, earn money for somebody else? They can't even eat. And when they do eat, it's like I've never seen such a thing. When they eat, it's a mess all over the table and it's it's chaotic. Dinner should be a peaceful time. As my grandchildren, I tell them, put away your electronics. Get to know each other. Because those 5 individuals that you sitting there raising, uh-huh, that daughter has already got inappropriate comments from the pimp. Um, how much more do you need to know that I better watch this pimp around my kids? I was concerned day one. Day one, I was concerned. Just off the way he looked, I was concerned. But again, you have to be the one that say enough is enough. It's okay to be broken. It's okay to identify and say, you messed up. It's okay. You will win if you do it right. You'll win if you listen.